Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Stephen Dow. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good. And yourself?
Oh, I'm good. Well, the Warriors won. You see this ring right here? We got another one. Another one.
I can't say anything. It was a great game, I mean, Steph with
did the Lakers make
Finals MVP.
Did they even make the playoffs? I forget.
No, we won't talk about that.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Hey, something I wanted to do today. I was read all the time about this stuff. So I read an article from Black Knight, kind of summarizing 2010 mortgage market with 2022 mortgage market. Obviously, I'm very clear that the housing market is crashing in transactions. Other folks are pushing the theme of foreclosures and forbearance and all of these other things. Well, Black Knight's a great data source. They just put out some data I wanted to run by with you, comparing the two periods, because some of these numbers are pretty scary, and maybe I'm wrong. So you ready to go?
It's like a scary pop quiz. I didn't know we were gonna have to watch a horror movie or something like that.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll talk about it.
Let's
but before I do, before I do it, do
popcorn.
Do your marketing thing. I almost forgot.
Oh, yes, of course. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the fun ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of mine and Mike. So let's get it going.
So the first thing we have to look at, again, was the average credit score, right? The average credit score back in the great real estate crash, as we all know by now, liar loans and those things. The average credit, do you want to just take a wild ass guess what the average credit score of a loan in 2010 was? Just a wild guess.
A conventional loan?
Yeah.
A conventional loan, right? Oh, okay. Average? 700, 680?
Not bad. So 687. 687.
Wow, man.
It's
the
like
price is right. She's running up around the bar. Sorry.
You win.
I
you
really
win.
do this.
All right.
Yes,
so far you're 1 for 1. Let's see where
sir.
we go. So so one of the things, again, you need to, if you're going to compare yesteryear to today, is like, okay, well, what's the average credit score, again, conventional in 2022?
Right.
Any,
well, that's why I had to specify. So that's why I was like, okay, because at that time you needed good quality credit to get any kind of loans, because credit was so tight that you had to jump through that window. If you didn't, you ain't fit the box and you ain't getting a loan. But go ahead.
How about today? What do you think the average credit score is today of a loan originated in 2022?
Oh, wow. Again, conventional, right? I mean, it's probably going to be pretty good. I would imagine at least 700, 720.
751.
Wow. See?
That is some good credit.
That is. I mean, because again, they want to take advantage of these historical low rates in the 2s and 3s. And so I think, and I don't know when this poll was taken. So you got, I mean, every 3 months in the last 7, 8, 9 months, it's just been so drastically different. So when did they take this, kind of poll? But that sounds about right.
How about negative equity? How many homes, again, single family homes in 2010, which is a couple years after the crash started.
Right.
What percent of homes had negative equity?
80.
No, only 1/4.
Per quarter.
It was a quarter. No, 1/4, 25%.
25%. Oh, okay. All right.
So one again, these are just numbers from Black Knight. I'm,
sure.
If they're wrong, I'm repeating wrong information.
Right.
When you look today, I've actually reported
that makes sense, because by that time all the foreclosures are probably had taken place, and so
some markets had already started to come off the bottom.
Correct.
Tappable equity today, which again, tappable equity is defined.
Oh my gosh.
As you still leave 20% in the building or in the house. Tappable equity today is 11 trillion. It is 2x bigger than it's ever been before, which the largest other time was 2006.
Well, that's why all these short, these adjustable, home repair, rehab, debt consolidation, commercials have been popping up lately. So anyway, go ahead.
How about ARMs? ARMs were, I've been reported a couple of times, 50% of origination in in 2006 and 7. Do you know what the origination was at the end of 2021?
As far as for arms?
Yeah, arms, conventional arms. Right.
Oh, I don't know, 10%.
Two.
Wow. Okay.
Now they've
Yeah.
gone
I mean,
up
why
since.
would you?
Yeah, they've gone
Yeah.
up.
But why would you? I mean, you can lock it in the 2030. Why would you take an adjustable? But that makes sense.
Yeah. In 2007, do you know how many arms reset?
Like the number of them or the percentage?
Number.
Or
It's a number. Yeah.
I don't
in
know.
the million. It's a round number
I was
in the
just gonna
million.
say, man. I mean, let's see here. Carry the 4. I would, man, at least more than 3 million.
10 million.
Wow.
Do you want to know why the
Yeah,
market?
because I wrote a ton of those back in the days. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we did a lot of that, and it was the prevalent and most a popular lending instrument because it allowed people to get on that real estate ladder.
Now, let's be very clear. What I've just said is exactly why I'm afraid for the Canadian real estate market. I don't know if you know this, but they have 5, 7, 10-year arms. Most of them are 5.
No, I am aware. A lot of people, we deal with foreign nationals as well.
Oh, cool.
With Velocity. So we do get a lot of Canadian borrowers, and yeah, a lot of them have, expressed that kind of difference. And so I think that's why they like maybe investing, in the US, because especially with our non-QM product,
30-year money
for national, right? 30-year money. You got it.
Yeah. Again, the reason, there's, I think I was on my daily financial news Wednesday. You can just search it, type in the word Canada. You'll see whenever it comes up. But apparently 1/4 of their homeowners are afraid they're going to be forced sellers when their ARM expires because their rates are up like 300 basis points. And again, the ARM reset makes a forced seller. If you can't afford the payment at reset, you are by definition a forced seller. This is why, at least as we sit today, we're not going to have that forced seller phenomenon. You can stay in your home. You are approved, and many of you have rates under 4%. So yeah, the forced seller is not coming.
Right.
And then we actually have record low mortgage delinquencies. You want to take a wild guess at what the mortgage delinquency rate is today?
Oh, less than 5%.
Yeah, 2.8, record low.
Yeah. I mean, again, where unemployment's low, rates are, are right now affordable, and so we'll see. But no, it's the metrics are a lot different from what they were back then to now. So there is going to be a slowdown in transactions, but I don't think. And then I'm seeing it myself. So I agree.
Yeah. And then the last thing is Black Knight reported at the peak of this crisis, we had 4.8 million people in forbearance.
Right.
That now sits at 300. So 300,000 homes have exhausted their forbearance process, which means 4.5 million have cured somehow, some way. So we have 300,000 left. 300,000 is a nothing burger in the great real estate of around the country. So again, when I look at these mortgage red flags, we are in a much better position, better credit, less arms, more tappable equity. I think we have supply destruction with interest rate lock-in. I think we have demand destruction because of affordability is crazy. All of this leads to the Fed broke housing, no transactions, which me as an investor is exciting because I can go fish for non-perfect property from motivated sellers and get a deal.
Oh, agreed. I mean, again, just do the work, like, all your T-shirts and hats say, looking for those right situations where ideally, seller has enough equity and is willing to, because especially in this kind of market, and the whole FOMO, kind of mindset a lot of these sellers are starting to have, because that's just, human nature when they start seeing these things around them, like panicking. So if the right situation, is that where the seller has enough equity, they're going to be willing to kind of, play ball at this point, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
But they got to pull the trigger fast. They can't just be sitting around, because as property values start to dip, the appraisals are going to determine what how much that purchase price they're going to finally get. So, don't be thinking about it too much, because the more you just think about it, it's just going to pass.
And again, this is why we're doing the 50, 40, 10 deep dive 2 Saturdays from now. Because again, it'll help you get the best rate, and it gives it. And again, the 50, 40, 10, I am willing potentially to pay list price. I may not, but I'm willing to, because I can get a blended rate below what else I can. So Stephen, how do you want people to reach out if they want to have these conversations?
Again, SDAO@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, just put the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time. subject, or excuse me, in the body of the email, brief description, what you're looking for. Property address would be great. At least maybe a city and state, just to make sure that we land there. Your desired terms, if you know what those are. And then, of course, best number to reach you at, and maybe mid FICO score. And within 24, maybe 72 hours right now, I'll be in touch, and we'll go from there.
And don't forget,
there's always next year. But I know that we still are up on you guys. I think we're at almost, right? Yeah. We got to go 2 hands.
Yeah, I think
if we're counting,
the Lakers, I think, have 18 rings,
something like that. Yeah, so I'll have to put up like both my feet too. So, but
yeah, it's all right.
I don't want to go that far. I'm not that big of a fan where I'm going to buy these replica, rings where I'm just like, jewels, right? Jewels. No, that's okay. But no, man, your team did great this year. So congratulations. So definitely, I'd be walking, loud and proud, and just, rub it in everybody's face for sure. Rub it in. Yep. So I'll take it on the chin.
That's
but
right.
Next
just
year,
one day. Yeah,
next year.
I won't do it tomorrow. Just today.
Thanks, Mike. See you, buddy.